Back, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt, joined by an old friend, Mark Brnovich, who's the Attorney General of Arizona. He intends to be the next senator from Arizona. I missed him last week when he was in Washington, D.C., arguing before the Supreme Court. Good morning, General. Welcome back to the Hugh Hewitt Show.
Thank you, Hugh, for having me on again.
Talk to me a little bit about the case last week before we go to the border situation in the State of the Union last night. How did the argument go?
Well, I thought the argument went really well. I mean, even objectively, you obviously, Hugh, you can never predict what a judge or a justice is going to do. But I thought that they were very skeptical of the Biden administration's argument. And just for everyone listening, the public charge rule is basically based on a federal statute for more than 100 years that says immigrants have to be able to support themselves. The Biden administration abandoned a rule that basically said that if you want to get legal status in the United States, you can't be on welfare or government benefits for more than 1 year of your first 3 years here. After the U.S. Supreme Court had agreed to hear the case, after the Department of Justice had tried to defend it in 4 different circuits, they abandoned the rule and they used a decision out of the Northern District of Illinois to say basically that the rule is unconstitutional, and then they withdrew the rule unilaterally without the proper legal notice and comment that's required under federal law. So it was very sneaky what they did, and as I kept saying, it was very unprecedented. And if the Biden administration won't defend the law, then the federal courts, the U.S. Supreme Court, has to allow states to step in. And that was basically our argument, that when the federal government's not doing its job, the states should be allowed to intervene and defend a federal law or a federal rule.
Now, General, I was a general counsel of 2 federal agencies. I never tried to do anything without notice and comment because I knew I'd lose. And sometimes even when you do notice and comment, you lose. But You got to do notice and comment. They withdrew this rule, which is in fact a new rule, without notice and comment. Did anyone speak up about that, like Justice Alito, anybody?
Yeah, I mean, yes, the justices clearly seem to be troubled by that. At one point, either Justice Kavanaugh or Justice Gorsuch had even asked the Biden administration about, the precedent for this, because, Hugh, part of the argument is, and they've asked me this as well, is, well, anytime you get a change in administration, they're going to change policies, right? And, I said, look, we understand that. But the Trump administration went through the painstaking rule and comment process. They did the rule the right way. So therefore, if you want to withdraw it, you have to do it the right way. And that means notice and comment rulemaking. And so if they wanted to rescind or replace it. And some of the other justices, even Justin Breyer, seemed to recognize that this was very sneaky and it was unprecedented, at least, using those words. And, it clearly was designed by the Biden administration like too cute by half. I mean, they clearly wanted to withdraw this rule, and they did it in a way where they, quite frankly, it was a strategic surrender. What they did.
I'm looking ahead to 2025, and I'm thinking to myself, if we lose this case, I don't think you will, by the way, but if we lose this case, future presidents are just going to withdraw rules. That's all they're going to do then, without notice and comment. General, what did you make about the State of the Union and the giant non-discussion of an open border through which millions of undocumented immigrants are flowing, but also fentanyl by the truckload?
Yeah, Hugh, it's disappointing. And I am a first-generation American. My parents lived through World War II. They lived through communism. And, the promise of America is that the rule of law has to mean something, that we can't have disorder. You can't have chaos on our southern border. And as you know, just this last year alone, more than 2 million people illegally entered this country. It's like the equivalent of, Wyoming, Alaska, and Vermont combined. I mean, literally just in 1 year. And then you throw in the fact that the cartels have seized control. The Biden administration has let them seize control, and you've had a record amount of fentanyl. And the price, for example, of fentanyl pill in Arizona now. Now, I get all the prices, and we're involved, our office, in prosecuting, drug crimes. And the price of a fentanyl pill here in Arizona has literally gone in 1 year from about $20 a pill to about $4 to $5 a pill. So the price of fentanyl, not just in Arizona, but throughout this country, is dramatically falling. And that means that kids are going to die. Someone's niece, nephew, son, granddaughter is going to die because of the Biden policies. And so literally last year, 100,000 people, more than 100,000 people died of fentanyl, opioid-related deaths. And, I mean, as you know, that's the equivalent of almost 2 Vietnam wars. And so just in 1 year. So our country, people are dying. Americans are dying as a result of the Biden administration's failed policies. And he seems to think if he ignores it, it's going to go away, and it's not. Because it's in Arizona's backyard now, in Texas's backyard, but it's coming to everyone else's front door very soon.
General, what is the biggest, we got 1 minute left, what is the biggest issue in the Arizona GOP Senate primary?
I think that people want candidates that understand Arizona values and represents and defends them, as I've done my entire career, and whether that, and it comes down to security, Hugh. And that means border security and economic security and security in our own neighborhoods. And whether that's protecting us against the gangs, whether it's protecting us against federal overreach and making sure we're energy independent, or protecting our borders and enforcing the rule of law, it really comes down to one word, security. And there is no one better qualified or capable, based on my record as gang prosecutor, federal prosecutor, and what I've done as AG, to provide security to Arizonans than I am.
Attorney General Mark Brnovich, thank you for carving time out. It's very early in Arizona, but we're on in Tucson and Prescott and, of course, Phoenix this morning. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for getting up early. Hey, America, I'll be back again tomorrow.